Welcome to Metaphysical Mississippi. I'm Emily and I have Russell with me. We're your co-hosts today. And we have a special guest. Well, you've seen her before, Jessica Allen.
Hey.
And we're so happy to have you. And
Thank
today we're going to discuss omens and what they may look like in different spiritual backgrounds.
So I had to look up the true definition of what an omen was. And an omen is an event regarding as a portent or of good or evil. And I look at you and I know you, and there is nothing but goodness within you. So how does an omen with hoodoo relate to both good and evil?
Well, as far as hoodoo, it's not necessarily like a hoodoo thing, but more like a cultural thing. So it can be utilized within hoodoo, but when it comes to omens, there may be, I think of them as signs, meaningful things that how can I put this? They're like signs within different cultures, or signs that kind of give us a message or warning or something like that. You got me? Okay.
Yeah.
So within hoodoo, there are signs that can let you know positive things may be coming or on your roads. And there's also signs that may warn you or let you know that there's not so favorable things on your road. It just depends. And so I just kind of wanted to have an open discussion because I know with different, just speaking and being in the metaphysical Mississippi meetups and stuff, I have heard different conversations where it's like, oh, that's great. Or I got this particular sign from a bird or this, that. And the definition that they may throw out there, like, oh, it's completely different than what I kind of grew up on or may have learned within my journey with hoodoo. So I just thought it would be great to have an open discussion about different omens, whether it be animals, whether it be superstitious like type of situation. So I just want to have that open discussion about it. I think it would be good.
Why don't you ask us a question?
Where should we begin? Lead the way, Russell.
Well, I mean, we're talking about omens and different cultural backgrounds, and we all three come from different cultural backgrounds. So
yes. Well, should we dive right into the omens or?
Sure.
Okay. So one, I have a little list here. I didn't put everything, but one common omen that you would see within the Black community is fish. And everybody knows within the Black community, when someone dreams of fish, that means that a pregnancy is coming within that person's family or household or whatever. So I remember going to a class at Soul Synergy a couple of years ago, and I think it was like the level 3 psych and intuitive class, and they had the exercise was, when I give you this particular name of a object or animal or something, tell me write down the first thing to come to mind. And so myself and another lady who's also African American, she threw out the word fish. Me and her was the only one, when she gave us that word, immediately thought of pregnancy. And then when we shared, they was like, we never heard of that. What's going, I did not think that they had completely different definitions, but somehow me and her came up with the same answer. Like, that means a baby coming. And so
you go home, take a pregnancy test?
Listen, well, when I was pregnant with my son, my mama was like, who pregnant? Because I've been dreaming of water, of rivers, of fish, somebody's pregnant. And I was quiet at the time because I was like, I took 1,500 pregnancy tests. I'm just going to go to the doctor and wait before I say something. But true enough, it has happened plenty of times within my family where someone is dreaming of fish or water or a scream or something, and boom, baby coming.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I don't have any recollection of anything like that with when I think of fish, it's like who's going to be doing a fish fry? That's the only fish.
But that particular omen, it actually stems from African traditional religions where some of these deities, or a particular deity, she was known for fertility. And she also resided within the waters. And so people will go to her and give offerings or ask that she brings them a baby. Well, transatlantic slave trade, whatever, when we brought here, those deities kind of began to die out and more so transform into like symbols or animals to replace that. So in this particular case, fish actually really kind of stems from that space, that religious space from there. Most people don't know that, but that's where it pretty much stemmed from.
Oh, that's real interesting.
That's cool.
Russell, do you have a thought of fish?
Well, I mean, I have African cichlids in my bedroom, but I hope I'm not pregnant. I love my fish. I don't necessarily dream of them. But the other night I dreamed that I was being bit by a enormous snake. And
oh my, snakes.
And they could be water. They could be water. But
now, what do you feel, or within your background, what the snakes symbolize to you?
Well, in the past, snakes symbolized to me that they need to die, and I want to get a hoe after them. But
yeah, okay.
But a year ago, my son and I were sitting on the back porch on Easter, and it was storming. It was Easter night, and he said, "Poppy, is that a snake?" It was on our porch. And I said, I looked over and said, "Yeah, that's a snake." And he looked over there and said, "What about that?" I said, "Yeah, that's another snake." He said, "What about that one over there?" We had 3 snakes on our porch. And I told him, I was like, "Okay, we're not going to kill them." I said, "I understand that snakes mean new beginnings." So I said, "We're going to let them live, and we're going to accept this as a new beginning." And a few minutes later, they slithered off. And within this past year, for those of you that know me, know that I have undergone many new beginnings this year. So for me, that's what they mean.
And that's interesting because from what I've learned, snakes, they have a couple of different meanings. For one, if you see a black snake, that will be a sign of protection. However, those snakes where they may be reddish, orangey, bronze, brown colors, those actually symbolize that somebody is out to get you. Like someone is going to betray you, or someone is going to bring some type of chaos in your life to look out. And it's also said that if you have a dream about snake, or if you come across a snake that's a particular color other than black, and a few others, but the person that you see next day that's wearing those same colors as the snake is the person that's going to betray you, or the person that's going to try to bring some type of chaos into your house, into your life.
It's true.
So that was one of the things that as far as snakes goes. And then it kind of goes into I have this book here called Roots and Roosters from Conjure Style Publications. Can you see it? I know I got the little
yeah, it gets a little blurry.
Yeah, this thing, but it's called Roots and Roosters, and they do a wonderful job breaking down the different types of snakes and the colors and what they can symbolize. But that is called Roots and Roosters, Hoodoo, Superstitious, Omens, and Spirits. And it's really good, easy book to read. But when you mentioned new beginnings, it made me think about lizards. Lizards are symbolic of change is coming. And funny story, I was going through this real hard time last year, probably like October, September. And I just felt like I couldn't get anything right. I was really just down a deep path, a road to almost like a depression, it feels like. And well, probably that's what it was. But as I was sitting in my garage one day, I saw a lizard that was on the wall. And I also saw a moth. The moth symbolizes bad habits, addiction within my background. And it was so amazing to watch this. And I felt like I've been just couldn't get anything right. So many bad habits going on in my life. And I see this moth there that flew right a little couple of feet from it. That lizard leaped over, sucked up that moth so fast. And you know what that told me? That change is coming. These bad habits, these things, in order for those change to come, you need to get rid of these bad habits that you're bringing into your life. And so when I saw that, I just sat there for a second, like, I know this little lizard just then leap across here and grab this big old moth like that and gobble it up. And it looked like he was enjoying it too. So that just gave me my sign, like, Jessica, you need to start making some changes, changing your perspective, getting rid of this pity party that you keep giving yourself, and try to make improvements, you know? And I don't know. The more I learn about these things, the more that I see these different omens and messages, it just helps align my life, so to speak, better.
Well, they're personal messages for yourself.
Yes, I felt like it was a personal message for myself. Like, if you want this change to come, we need to get rid of those bad habits, those bad addictions and things. So yeah, that was quite an experience, I must say. I never seen a lizard take off a mouth like that. It's crazy.
So what do you feel about birds?
Birds. So birds, different birds can mean different things, but like the little small birds, they are usually like omens of gossip. You get that when you hear I don't know what you call them, but they're the little small ones that always be cutting up in the little trees. You don't really see them. Right. Those are like your little gossipers, just chirping away. Somebody's probably talking about you. Now, if it could be good, it could be bad, but somebody's doing a lot of talk about you. Blue jays, they're like signs of romantic love. Like love may be on your path, and there's actually different workings that people can do with blue jays as it relates to romantic love. And there's a couple of other different birds as well. Cardinals, I think that's like general across the board, can be symbolic to like a familiar, an ancestor or something like yes. that. So, but birds have a wide range of meanings when it comes to omens. And it always depends on the specific type of bird.
This past year, I received a lot of cardinals, little figurines of cardinals, because I lost my husband this year. And so in our community, in the white community, cardinal represents loved ones that have passed. And for me, on New Year's Day, which was our anniversary, I got up that morning and looked out in the backyard, and the yard was full of cardinals.
I'm not
talking just one or two. They were everywhere. So
if that is not a message, like a hello, I'm still here with you.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, I agree with the birds. When y'all first talking about lizards or fish, but birds, yes, all the time with me. I just saw 2 red cardinals outside the other day, and I think of it as my grandparents or things. Yeah. Oh, but that's beautiful what you just shared.
Yeah, that is.
My mother passed away 19 years ago, and Christmas was our special time. It was always that was the one time a year that our whole family came together, and we were together, and it was wonderful. And after my mom passed, the first year after that, I had a little sparrow, that little chirpy bird you're talking about that's talking about you.
Uh-huh.
That little sparrow flew into my house and lived within my Christmas tree that month. And I didn't really realize it was there, except I kept finding poop on my bed.
Oh my goodness.
That's
But
good.
Christmas Day, it flew into my hands.
Oh, wow.
And I was able to take it outside and release it. And for several years after that, on Christmas, a sparrow would fly down and fly into my hands.
Oh
And
my
it
goodness.
lasted for about 3 seasons. And then after that, I'm sure Mama moved on, and the sparrows quit coming to me, particularly. But
She just had to make sure you knew that she was
still
still
with
here.
me. Yes.
I love that. Oh, that just gave me chills. You just don't
Yeah.
know.
So
Oh, I
every time
love
I
that.
see a bird in nature, I'll say, "Hey, Mama. Hey, Daddy. Hey, Shane." You know, I don't know if it's them or not, but I'm still acknowledging that their spirit is out there.
Yes, I love that.
Speaking also of birds, I rarely see crows, but I saw 2 crows a couple of weeks ago when I was on a journey driving somewhere. And for me right now, it takes a lot of faith for me to go places right now with I don't have a very reliable car and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so they were talking to each other, and I'd never noticed that before. 2 crows, talking. Do y'all know anything? And then later I saw one solo crow, but I never see crows. Is there a superstition that y'all, because when I Googled it, it was good luck, and then some said it was bad luck, and y'all have any
It
experience?
may vary. If I'm not mistaken, they're like almond. I want to say they're like either messengers that send warnings or protect. Oh, give me. I'll tell you just.
Oh,
Come on.
thank you.
But
But I did see that.
Crows and ravens are omens of warning. They are also omens of protection. So warnings are, like protection.
Yeah.
I
I felt it more protection than anything. That's what I was feeling.
Yes.
Safety.
Another omen, I know we mentioned fish for fertility, but another omen within our community is for frogs. Frogs are omens of conception. So whereas fish is someone is pregnant, frogs is somebody about to do, and there's going to be a pregnancy out of this. That's what frogs within my community means. And then let's see, ants. Is there any significance to ants?
Only that somebody's not cleaning up the kitchen well enough. So no, I don't have any invasion is what I feel with ants. What is
they're like messengers. And also they're like signs that you need assistance. Like how the ants work together and they
yeah.
So it's kind of like when you see that, it could be an omen of it, that whole it takes a village type of thing. Like you need assistance with something, or it could mean that they're trying to deliver messages. True story. Leading up to before I started my whole hoodoo journey, I was just looking and looking. I was like, I don't really know where I fit within my spiritual journey. I can't really relate. And I started getting these little black ants around the house. They was the big ones too. Black ants around the house. And when I came across my mentor, I asked her about it. I said, she mentioned the whole ants being messengers and all of that. And I was like, it's funny that you said that because I keep getting all these black ants around here? She said, well, take some sugar and go outside and feed it. They're messengers. They came to give you, and they're sweet ants. So they came to give you sweet messages. And in return, with those sweet messages that they're bringing to you, you will give your gratitude and go and take some sugar and pour it out in your yard by a tree. I did that. Do you know them ants ain't been back since? It's like they just... It's like after I gave the acknowledgement that, okay, I got your messages. I'm where thank you so much. Went out there with a bowl of sugar, just put it out there at the tree, and they just evaporate. I don't know where they went, but they haven't been back since. I did that. So I just thought that was crazy how that operated. But
I love that thought of...
But it was the intention of you giving gratitude to them that did it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how much sugar did you put out?
It was like a regular cereal bowl.
Oh, wow.
And I just filled it on up. Sugar is high. Good. I was like, I hope this works. Thank you, because I'm using up my sugar, trying to get my gratitude. But they was appreciative because they left expeditiously.
Well, I'm going to try that little trick.
Yes.
Let me know how it goes.
I will.
And what about cats? Let's talk cats and dogs.
Well, I'm personally not superstitious when a black cat walks across me or anything like that. I have a black cat and I love him. But I know, isn't it supposed to mean harm is to come, or?
Not with, maybe for some. Cats are actually, black cats specifically are good luck. Specifically. And there's more so because they are like sacred animals. They can provide protection. So it's, people oftentimes would say that they are good luck, but the luck is more so coming from them being those omens of protection. So if you're protected in your finances, protected in your mental state, protected in wherever the case or space may be, it may come off as being lucky or whatever. But they're actually, and a lot of people used to say, oh, it's a black cat. I know people who would try to speed up just so the cat won't get a chance to cross the road, because they feel like if that cat crosses them while they coming through, they gonna have bad luck. And it's like they really actually within hoodoo, not bad luck animals. It's kind of good to have a cat around the house in that instance. And I don't know, it's I really wanted to talk about that because I know black cats specifically get a bad rep and I don't like it.
Okay.
They do get a bad rep.
I have many cats. I mean, many cats. And I was trying to count how many black cats I actually have. And I think, well, I've had many come and go, in my life, but I think I have about 7 right now.
Oh, geez, Louise.
But some are outside, and some of, I think 2 live inside, and 3 of them are boys, and they live outside. But they were neighborhood cats, and I just started feeding them.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yes, I have more than black cats. We won't discuss.
Yeah, because I was thinking in my head, she said she got 6 black cats. How many other cats she had?
I won't even say, but anyway, I can't say. Too many.
Don't be ashamed.
Too many. But when you say about good luck, I'm not. I do feel protection. I feel protected. They are and mainly when I want to rest, they make me rest. I go sit. There's just nothing better than
they very smart.
Just sit in a recliner and and sometimes when I'm walking outside, I feel like who was it? A Snow White and all the birds coming around.
Oh yes. No,
they follow me all around the yard.
Oh, I love it.
And I talk to them, and they all, it's like I do know I'm an animal communicator, especially with cats, and
I
possums.
love it. And possums too. You feeding the possums too?
Well, they come and eat the cat food.
They probably say, "Come on, everybody, come on down."
Yeah.
She about to put the food out shortly.
If I'm not out there, if it's late at night, they're like all like, "Where's the food, bitch?"
Like you wait, you're slipping. Where is food at? You can't spoil them, then take it away now.
Yes, but no, I mean, I believe cats are good luck for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
And as far as dogs, they come in as represent loyalty. Just think about man's best friend. That's what they typically would say in regards to dogs, man's best friend. So and even with these omens, like if you're walking or driving and it's on your path, there's also different meanings to depending on what side of the road these different animal spirits are on. So if a cat is crossing from the left side to the right side, good luck. If they crossing from the left side from the right side to the left side, then that means that your luck is about to change. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad luck, but there's going to be some type of change within your luck. Same with dogs. If you see the dogs crossing from the left side to the right side, there's, loyalty there. If you see them running or crossing the opposite way, then that means that someone's probably not being quite loyal to you. And you got to use your own discernment. Not every dog or cat that you're going to pass by is like, oh, snap. I got to check my circle because somebody's slipping. You know what I mean? But you know how sometimes you may be like, I just need a sign. I just need something is not right. Something feels off. And sometimes you'll get those signs. It's kind of like you got to use your own discernment. It's like a feeling, like the incident with the lizard and the moth. Like,
yes,
I don't know what made me pay attention because lizards be up in the garage all the time. But for some reason, I just felt like I knew that particular message was for me. And same thing goes when you out and about in these streets and coming across these different animals or omens or whatever. But what about you as far as dogs? Is there any significance? Maybe.
Well, I have 2 dogs, and they are very special to me. They know when you're ill. They know when you're emotional. They know when you're hurting emotionally.
Yes.
And they are man's best friend. They will come up and curl up with you and not leave your side because they're instinctual that they feel that they're empaths. They feel your pain and they want to nourish that and nourish you and help take it away. And I truly believe that they do.
Yes, me too. That's why you got these support dogs. There's all types of support animals, but specifically, most of the time you'll see those support dogs more than anything. I love that though.
Well, you're talking about the dogs taking away pain. I feel sort of like all my cats are Reiki cats. If I really knew what Reiki was, but they're just energy that they, I just get so much from their energy around me.
Think about it. You provide care for them. You say these are like street cats, and you start feeding them. That's
and then they started having babies
between you and those. Yeah.
And think about the purr, the hum of their purr, the vibration that it puts off when they come up and they lay on your belly, and they're just sitting there and looking at you, and they're purring. And it's that perfect pitch, perfect vibration. It's soothing. It's just like when we do Reiki, the vibration that comes off of our hands is the same thing that's coming out of their mouth when they purr.
Yes.
So,
yeah. I mean, I actually have cats from head to toe. I'm talking like about 6 or 7 at a time will just be, guarding
You get
around.
special treatment.
You can be the
I
crazy
am.
cat lady.
I am going to be. I think I am. Oh, um, omens. Okay, you're talking about animals, and I don't want to get off that subject, but um, like rainbow. A rainbow is a sign. I mean, a sign that I see between is a personal sign between me and, God or my higher power. When I've struggled with something, I'll have things like that, or just something in nature. It doesn't always have to be an animal.
Mhm.
But is that also considered an omen? A sign
Yeah.
of that? Okay.
And the thing about omens is that it can depend on that person lineage. It can be a cultural thing. It could be just strictly a family thing. In a sense. Like my cousin, I knows when she dreams of muddy waters, there's going to be a death to come about within the family. You may see muddy waters and it may mean something completely different within your family. It's a cultural thing, it's a blood thing, and then sometimes it could just be an American thing, a general across the board. Like cardinals, we all can pretty much agree that cardinals can represent ancestors, familiars, so on and so forth. So rainbows may be a specific thing within your family or
But
with
it's biblical, so that's kind of where I get it
yeah.
from with my biblical thing of a
Yeah.
promise,
But if you see that rainbow and it that sign that you see and you notice that change come about following it, then
Yeah.
it's safe to say that when that comes about, you
Mhm.
already know there's gonna be brighter days,
Yes, yes.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So today I did a good bit of reading of the ancestry of hoodoo.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm quite fascinated by it because when I watched your first video that you recorded, you were talking about, like, for example, New Year's, the black eyed peas and the greens and all of that.
Yeah.
Well, Caucasian people, white people do that too. And I know that we do that because y'all taught us that.
Yeah.
When your lineage came from Africa and worked for the white man, y'all prepared those meals for us and taught us that background, and we all still do it. And what I find fascinating is today that white people don't realize where the customs came from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like I told one of my white customers today when I was doing her hair, I was like, you know what's fascinating about hoodoo? I was like, you practice hoodoo. I said, you have your black eyed peas and your greens on New Year's. And she's like, well, I've heard of hoodoo, and I thought somebody was making fun of something. I didn't even know that was real. And I
Oh
was
my
like, yeah,
God.
it's real.
Well, that aspect of it, as far as the New Year's, is more like it's like it's like a gray area, so to speak. It's not necessarily hoodoo, it's customs.
Well,
Um
sure.
for because hoodoo, when you think of hoodoo is the magic of it's basically magic. Whereas the cooking of the food, and it's just basically tradition. It's just basically customs that we go by. It's not necessarily hoodoo. It's just traditions. It's
Tradition
traditional, and
and ritual.
it shows symbolic meaning to
Yes.
different things. Where your cow would be for you got to have some type of cow meat that's going to be your wealth. Your black eyed peas being your luck, your greens, I believe the greens were prosperity. Like it's different. It's more like a traditional custom, so to speak. If you go to church and you have communion, and you have the grape juice and the little cracker, which that has that symbolic meaning of the blood and flesh of Christ. I mean, it's just a symbolic meaning, but you're not actually conjuring anything. Hoodoo is that conjuring aspect. So, but still, nonetheless, still customs that have been brought down for centuries at this point, you know.
Well, it's beautiful.
Well, I had, I had a question about the traditions around this time of year. What are some of the, y'all are now talking about food, so I'm going to want to talk about some food.
Oh, okay.
What kind of food do y'all fix around Easter time traditionally? And you can just say with your family, or what you now know that they do,
Well, I mean, when it's around Easter time, we don't have, like, usually as far as the food aspect, that's more so done at the end of the year, just a new fresh start, bringing it in. You want to have this because you want your new year to start off right.
Yeah.
Everything else in between there is kind of like your typical food. It's not anything special. For some people, they may have a lineage where they do these cook certain foods on certain holidays. But
but for
my family, we don't. We can have barbecue one minute, or we can have it just varies. We don't have a set. I may be in the McDonald's line on Easter. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, for hoodoo, for do y'all do any special rituals or for the spring equinox?
No, when you get into like the spring equinox, that's more so going into not pagan. That's like the wheel of the year kind of type of
okay. All right.
deal. It's not necessarily anything specific within hoodoo though.
But does hoodoo do seasons?
There's different things that can be done within different seasons. But most of the time that's more so towards the end of the year, maybe beginning around October. I know there's different things, and I can't actually speak about some of the things that we do, but there are some things that I do within beginning around October, as we go into towards the end of the year.
I just want to ask, I know about certain roots because I watch some of the Conjure South, some of her videos. She was talking about a certain root, and I don't know if I can say it, the Haijan root, which I'm really not.
Oh, the Haijan Conqueror.
Yeah, that's the only one I paid attention to. But it appeared to be that was more of a foraging type of thing. In your hoodoo practices, if you can say this, in when y'all are using roots and all that, do y'all go through and do a planting, or do you just learn about foraging?
So
you plant and grow, or do you
the
just
program that I was in, that within the Conjure South Hoodoo Institute, she taught us how to forage. Now this is an ongoing thing. I still take classes. This is more of like a lifetime thing. You're talking about someone who's been doing this since birth versus me, who just consciously made the decision that I want to learn and go back the way that learn and kind of live life like my ancestors did without all the bad stuff. But you get what I'm saying, like spiritually wise. And so when it comes to Haijan, the root, he's known as the Conqueror. Now there's different stories about him, how he came about, saying that he was an African prince and he was real good at getting out of trouble or different things like that. And when he died, this particular root or plant grew on top of his grave.
Oh yeah.
And people use that root to bring in different blessings or requests that they may have. He's actually, so you'll see a lot of like Haijan the Conqueror oils, which really is essence. And they got Haijan Conqueror floor wash, they got the body spray, they got all kinds of stuff. But really it is his essence that they have. And he does grow, he can grow year round technically, but I know with the video you're referring to, this is the time of year where will go foraging and she will obtain his roots. And crazy enough, when she was getting ready to do that particular community service you're talking about, he was right in her backyard.
Yes, I heard her say that. So I was wondering,
Going all in her backyard.
have you ever seen it grow where you are? Have you ever seen it?
No, I have
I know
not.
she's in Alabama, so I just didn't know if it was a Mississippi.
They can grow different places. This particular root can grow in different places, but to be honest with you, I'm still learning. I may have some in my backyard.
Oh, gotcha.
Now, probably have to dig it up and look at the root to see if that's what it is. I could come across him every single day and not notice, but I'm still like the whole foraging thing, so new. Can't wait to do it again, but it is still fairly new to me, and that's something I just started really diving into.
Right.
Other than that, I just go to the store, to the apothecary, and get what I need, just go to the
$20.
Yeah. But I do want to learn how to forage, and identify everything on my own. But right now, I just go to the store or I order it online from a respectable business. Respectable.
I hope you know how amazing you are.
You're amazing.
And how much fun you are to talk to and relate to.
You're amazing. I love every time I see you. I don't know, it's something about you. You just glow all the time. I promise it feel like you just walked out of one of those little magazines that got the little water, little ocean in the background, the perfect sunset. That's the kind of feeling that you give me. You're just
thank
so
you.
bright. You don't understand. And I'm not just saying that because you gave me a compliment. I truly mean it.
Thank you, baby.
And same to you.
Well,
I don't want to leave you out. Okay. But I love your energy as well.
Thank you.
Please know that, and I appreciate you. And you so loving, and you so give me those nurturing vibes,
Only I'm a big mama.
Yes.
I mean, nature. Thank you.
I love it.
Well, thank you for coming on here. Thank you, Russell. And
thank you both.
All right.
Have a wonderful evening.
Y'all too.
Y'all take care. Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye, baby.
The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent.